Russell from mining.com.au, and we are here once again at the RIU Sydney Resources Round-Up. Sitting next to my right is Ian Prentice, the Managing Director of Cosmo Metals. Ian, fabulous to meet you in person. Let's talk about gold. How are you?
I'm great, Shae. How are you?
Good, thank you. Now, you recently signed the deal on your Bingara, not Bingara, Bingara. I've been practicing really hard on that one, and Nundle projects.
Yep.
All right, so obviously they're yours now to explore. What's the plan? What's that boots on the ground exploration look like?
Yeah, so deal's closed, which is fantastic, and boots on the ground next week. So we've got some prospects up at Bingara that we want to get onto and really get amongst it. So we've got some antimony prospects that we're going to be looking at, and some extensions of our gold prospects we're going to look at as well. So yeah,
exciting time. So what does this exploration plan look like? Obviously, you're sending people out there to gather information. Are we mapping? Are we soil sampling? Geochem? What's this plan look like?
Yeah, so we've already flown LiDAR. So we did a LiDAR survey as we're leading into completion. So we're going to get that data, and that'll be a great base for all of our mapping to look at the structures, structural domains, where the old workings are, all those sorts of things. So the guys out in the field can use that as a base to really map the extension of those. What we're doing is we're looking at those sort of, I guess, the antimony and the Spring Creek gold area, but it's really leading into our first drilling campaign. So Spring Creek is one of the only areas at Bingara that's had any real drilling at all, and that was back in the 80s, 1980s.
Oh, wow.
So it's just really quite virgin ground. So we want to get back in there and we're going to drill that. We're going to do some validation drilling on some of those great results that happened back in the day, and then we're going to obviously extend from there. So first up, get in there, really do that mapping to make sure we get those holes targeted right, and then we're going to be into the drilling.
I'm just going to get bogged down in what you said before, because I love it when I hear about ground that hasn't been explored in like 40 or 50 years. That's what we're talking about. And obviously applying modern exploration to this ground. That means there could be some pretty wild finds out here.
Absolutely.
Or at least we're hoping.
It's hugely exciting, right? So to be at this pointy end of exploration where you've got something it's almost like a greenfields exploration, because you've got historical workings that date back to the mid-1800s, but you've got exploration that actually was done, very little exploration done this century. And we're already a quarter of the way into this century. So so hugely exciting to go out there and apply that systematic exploration. So the geophysics, the LiDAR, the geochemistry, understanding all the geology and pulling all that together, and what's out there. We know down at Nundle that over 300,000 ounces of gold has come out of that whole region. So that's alluvial gold that's come off from somewhere. So what's the source and how big could that be? So there's massive opportunities. We're getting in there and having a crack.
Super cool. What's the source? Love hearing those words. All right, so obviously boots hitting the ground. Everyone's getting dirty really soon. Newsflow. What can we expect to hear out of this exploration program?
Yeah, so we've got that work. We should have I guess a whole bunch of that surface sampling type work. So rock chip samples, all that information. We've got the LiDAR data that's going to come out and really, I guess, help us map out the extent of some of these things. So we know where some of the old workings are, but what's hidden by the forest, what's not available. So LiDAR is going to map all that for us. So that's going to come out. And as I say, the next step is moving into drilling.
This is so exciting. As I said, love old ground with fresh eyes being put on it. So thank you so much for talking to me today. And I cannot wait to hear more about this one. Thanks, Ian.
Awesome. Thank you.